Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's Answer Hour. We will get started here in just a second. It looks like we have a few people joining us a little after 12. We'll give it about another couple of minutes and we'll go ahead and get started. Again, as a reminder, if you have any questions or comments, please drop your comments in the chat function so we can refer to those when we're done, and also make sure that we see and everyone can see any questions you might have as we're going through today's presentation. I'll be giving a brief update about campus program, and then I'm going to turn over to Aaron Fredrickson for a brief demonstration. So we'll get started here in just a bit. Thank you.
I've had enough.
Okay, so it's about 12:03. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, thanks for being a part of today's Answer Hour. This is Richard Davis, Director for the Alternative Dispute Resolution Unit at the Department of Labor and Industry. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to get an update about campus and bring any questions, thoughts, concerns you might have to our attention. So we want to make this a good use of everyone's time, and we hope that you get something out of today's presentation. Briefly, we will be going through a couple of updates and reminders about campus, touching briefly on known issues that have been brought to our attention over the last couple of weeks. And then we're excited to also share a development roadmap. This is an outline of some of the things that we have currently scheduled for the next release that's slated later this month. So this is a sneak peek about what to expect in the weeks ahead. And then I'm going to turn it over to Aaron for a brief demonstration. And again, at any time, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to drop those in the chat, and we'll be sure to address those as best we can in real time. So as far as updates are concerned, I just want to make sure that everyone's aware that our Commissioner Robertson, has been asked to give a presentation at the upcoming Workers' Comp Institute on April 28th. She will be doing just a brief snapshot for a 10-minute session, and then later that afternoon, along with Chief Judge Jenny Starr from the Office of Administrative Hearings, we'll be able to go into a breakout session of about 60 minutes to provide more in-depth updates about what's going on both here at the Department of Labor and Industry and also the Office of Administrative Hearings. So you'll probably see and hear more about this as we get closer to April 28th. But we wanted to make sure that everyone's aware that Judge Starr and Commissioner Robertson are expected to present at the upcoming institute. So mark your calendars accordingly. In addition, also just want to remind folks that we will continue to push out information via newsletter and with upcoming answer hours. So our next newsletter will be sent tomorrow. And then we also have tentatively scheduled the next answer hour for the week of April 19th. And once we have a defined date and time, we will send that out as well. And of course, as always, if you have thoughts around specific topics or issues that you'd like to have us cover in either the newsletter or in the answer hour, please send that information. You can send it to me or you can send it through to our help desk at any time. We look forward to capturing your feedback. So one thing I wanted to briefly make mention of as far as known issues, We are currently going through the process of doing an audit of our claims and disputes to verify that attorneys of record have been properly identified and that they have the correct access rights. So, as part of that effort, we have been made aware that there are some system generated emails that are going out and being sent to lawyers and their staff members. And the main thing I just wanted to let folks know is that this is nothing that should be cause for alarm. This is actually part of just our ongoing behind the scenes work. This is a system generated email, so it's not something that um, we believe you should have much cause for alarm. It's a part of our normal course of business. Campus and DLI generally are designed, we're here, and we would definitely want to make sure that the integrity of our data, that our system as a whole is secure, that the information of workers is secure. And it's particularly critical that we're doing this now because we've seen and been made aware of a number of recent hacks and phishing attempts at work comp law firms, also industry partners like CNA recently were exposed to a cybersecurity attack. So that is certainly part of our consideration in doing this work at this time. If you get a system generated email and you have a question or you're concerned about it, you can certainly reach out to me directly. I would also encourage you to reach out to the help desk. I've let them know that if they get any of those inquiries to contact me and let me know directly, and I'll follow up with the parties involved. But this is not something that we're wanting to unnecessarily create red flags or raise alarm over. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me and I'll be happy to walk you through what we're doing and why we're doing it. But this is part of our ongoing commitment to the integrity of the system. If you do believe that your access has been revoked improperly, you can certainly file a new notice of rep and a notice of appearance, and that will reinstate your access to the claim or the dispute at issue. But again, any questions you might have around these system generated emails and what that might mean for you or your firm, you can reach out to me or you can reach out to the help desk, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Next, I want to briefly walk folks through our development roadmap for what we have in the offing here over the course of the next couple of months. And we're excited to be able to share this because it shows our commitment to growing the system, evolving it, and making sure that it addresses the concerns that the issues that we're aware of and any concerns that have been raised. So here is a high-level overview of what we have planned, what we've done really for the first few months of 2021, and then what we have planned in April and beyond. So our releases here, you can see our timelines, including items that are slated to go out tomorrow, and then a larger release later in the month of April. And we'll talk a little bit about what some of those things entail and what's to be covered when we do have that larger release at the end of the month. Briefly, I just want to go through and review some of the bigger items that have been addressed, the bigger issues that have been addressed over the course of the first few months here of 2021. So in particular, we've done things to fix our issues with affidavits. We released in February the WID lookup tool. That was a direct response to a number of comments and feedback that we got from our stakeholder survey. Similarly, in our most recent release in March, we added, the ability to file an NOA on a dispute where the claim has not yet been reported, and we also extended the system timeout from 15 to 30 minutes. These are issues that were brought to our attention by stakeholders and in partnership with CapTech and our project management team when we've been able to act on these items. So similarly, now as we head into April, there are quite a few things that we believe will be done to improve the overall user experience. In particular, some of the things that I just want to highlight here, adding claims identifying information to system generated email messages. It's probably one of, if not the most constant piece of feedback and criticism that we've received over the past few months. So we're anxious to be able to incorporate that into the release that's scheduled for later in April, so that this should again make the system more efficient, make the process when you get these emails more efficient, so you know exactly what it's in reference to. You can see here we also have made it a priority to clean up and remove old attorneys from claims and cases. This is in line with what I've mentioned previously. Also, you can see here we're doing some things to fix PDFs that open blank in campus. Again, that's another big criticism that we've heard from folks, and we certainly want to make that a priority. And then also, again, cleaning up, adding attorneys to disputes, and this goes back to something we had done previously in January. So you can see there's quite a few items that are to be covered over the next several weeks with our tech partners, but we're confident that we'll be able to get these items addressed and incorporated into the release at the end of the month. If anything changes, we'll certainly let you know. But we wanted to be able to share this as part of our continued commitment to partnering with our stakeholders and making sure that people have transparency about the system and how we're utilizing the feedback that we get from you to grow it and make it better, more effective, and more efficient on an ongoing basis. If you have any comments or questions about some of the things that you see here, again, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to provide more detail. But as we get closer to releasing these, and when the release goes out, you'll see the release notes and more context for the items that you see listed here for inclusion in our April release. So stay tuned for more. So with that, I will now turn it over to Aaron Fredrickson to take the lead on doing our demo for this week. And again, if you have thoughts, comments, questions, please drop those in the chat and we'll be able to respond accordingly. So Aaron, I'll take it away. The floor is yours.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Richard. Let's see, just kind of looking at my notes here, a couple things that wanted to share, and then I think I was going to do a quick demonstration on filing a motion to intervene. I'm just going to pull something up here. 1 second. This was a slide that we had shared a couple weeks ago, and just wanted to reiterate some of the things that we're seeing in terms of being able to assist people effectively. Under the legacy system or the old system, a lot of what we operated under was the WID number. WID is certainly an important number. However, at least how campus is built out, it's kind of the campus hierarchy with a WID number, one WID for each individual employee. Each particular date of injury is assigned a claim number. So as you can see here, we have one employee with 3 separate dates of injury, and then under a claim number is a dispute number. Why is the dispute number important? A lot of the help desk tickets that we're seeing relate to problems filing a medical response, a rehabilitation response, and at least in terms of kind of triaging the issue before we're able to call someone. If we're only provided with a WID number, what we might be faced with is sorting through 3 separate dates of injury to at least kind of determine what dispute is at issue or needs assistance on, and it can take some time. So when you're contacting the help desk, provide complete contact information, so email address, the best telephone number that you can be reached at. I know sometimes too people are still working at home and might only have a personal cell phone number. Obviously, if you're providing a help desk with a personal cell phone number, we're not going to go ahead and republish that phone number, et cetera. It just helps us as far as getting back to you as far as additional information that you might need. So just keep that in mind. In terms of then too, if you're having problems responding to a particular dispute, like a medical request, a rehab request, by providing us with the specific dispute number, which starts with a DS, at least helps locate that issue and identify what the problem is. As we discussed earlier, or excuse me, a couple weeks ago, sometimes the problem is the person filing the request is not completing the disputed issue section. And when that's not completed, it doesn't allow someone to file a response. So we are seeing fewer and fewer issues where someone's having a problem filing a response. So that means that people are doing a better job in terms of the initial request. Secondly, I think that we wanted to just briefly touch on motions to intervene. And at least in the past, under the legacy system, we would often get motions to intervene when the case was over at the Office of Administrative Hearings, and how that information was shared between the two courts systems within workers' compensation was just easier. I don't want to say easier accessible, but it would just get dumped into a particular file. I think one thing that interested stakeholders can help everyone out with, in terms of if you're sending out a notice of potential intervention, is making it a little more conspicuous where the case is, in terms of, is it at the Department of Labor and Industry, or is it at the Office of Administrative Hearings? A lot of the common problems that we're seeing are people are trying to file that motion to intervene. They go to campus automatically and they're unable to file the motion to intervene. A ticket gets filed. And then again, it's quickly determined that the case is over at the Office of Administrative Hearings. So if you could just help people out when you're filing those notice of potential interveners, and just being a little more conspicuous as far as where the case is at. If it's at the Office of Administrative Hearings, noting that, and it allows for quicker access in terms of people getting to the right spot. So I guess we can do a quick demonstration in terms of filing the motion to intervene. And located in here in the test system, filing the motion to intervene. If I'm the attorney or the interested party filing that motion to intervene, what I am going to do is go to the submit a filing dropdown on the top of my home screen. What I'm going to do then is access a case or a claim. It's going to ask me what I'm trying to do. I have a number of different options. Going to file a motion to intervene. Going to click next. I need to go ahead and locate that case or claim. Then I have the particular number of different disputes. And again, too, by indicating on the paperwork what the dispute is, using the dispute number, it's going to help people file that motion to intervene a lot more quickly and with fewer mix-ups. And then obviously here, I don't know how much longer I need to do. Just kind of wanted to highlight some of those important spots in terms of the motion to intervene, and some of the things that people should look out for as far as helpful tips. I can just get this form started here. There we go. I can start filling that out. Any questions, comments, anything you want to add, Richard or Brian?
No, nothing
Brian,
for
that
me,
looks good.
Aaron. Thanks. Yep.
Yeah, me either, Aaron. This is Brian.
Do you have any questions in the chat box?
I was just going to say, I looked in the chat. I saw that there was a comment from Angela, and I'll put my email address in there. Angela, you can circle back with me offline if you want to. I just want to get some clarification about your specific case or the email you may have gotten, so we can follow up.
I would add even one thing too is, the ultimate goal of these answer hour sessions is to provide demonstrations with functions that people find useful. If there is anything that you'd like us to demonstrate at an upcoming answer hour sessions, please feel free to reach out and let us know. I'm even fine just dropping my email address in the chat box and people can email suggestions directly.
So Aaron and Brian, there was a question that just came through from Angela. How would I file an attorney lien on a claim that is not found in campus? Are we able to mail it in?
The answer to that is no. I mean, I think ultimately the filing for an attorney lien should be at the Office of Administrative Hearings. If you wanted to go ahead and I guess make a second filing at the department, I think the important thing is that you would need to file that lien. We wouldn't have jurisdiction over it. It would be over at the Office of Administrative Hearings. So it'd be a filing on C-Track or how they allow filings for claims. Anything you want to add, Brian?
I'd agree with that, Aaron. If one lawyer who's no longer the employee's attorney anymore sees that there's a medical request or a request for assistance happening here at DLI, and they have an interest in the outcome for fee purposes, they could certainly intervene. But we don't, I mean, to start to get into that pipeline, but we don't award fees. So that's going to have to be at OAH.
Any other questions?
Just gonna say we got a quiet group today. I will just say that even in the short time that we've been on the answer hour today, I've had a few different things get forwarded to me where it looks like there's some questions looking for some clarification on the revocation of access. So I have those in my inbox, and I'll be following up with some offline phone calls to people. Many of you, I think, are already on this chat today. So stay tuned, and I'll circle back with you directly. But it doesn't look like we have any other questions regarding campus navigation or use. Aaron or Brian, any just sort of general thoughts or parting comments before we close things down? We can certainly maybe give folks back at least about a half hour. But Brian, Aaron, any things that you would like to add before we close up shop today?
This is Brian. I would just want to remind people that if they've got a difficulty at all, don't be afraid, don't hesitate to let us know. Call it into the help desk. They'll refer it. If they can't help you, they'll refer to someone in our group, may well be me or Aaron, to take a deep dive in it with you. And also, especially, this would be for defense lawyers, if you've got insurer clients, claim adjuster clients are having trouble, encourage them to reach out to us also. A lot of you guys have spoken to me or Aaron personally. I hope you guys have some confidence that we do want to help you and we will help you. Same goes for those claim adjusters. We want to be able to reach out to them too, to give them any assistance they need. Remind them to call that help desk, call in their difficulties, because the only way, if there's a problem, the only way we can get it fixed is if someone lets us know it's happening.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Brian. And I did put up on the screen, just as a reminder, people can always go to that Campus Central page on the DLI website. And as Brian mentioned, our help desk, you can see the email address, helpdesk.dli@state.mn.us. That's sort of the front door for many of the questions that get routed to us. Oh, we do have a question that came in. Brian, can you read that question that just came up in the chat? Sorry, it came and then it left my screen.
Yeah, this is Brian. So the question from Tina is, what's your recommendation when we see the employer related to a specific date of injury is named incorrectly? The answer to that for everybody is that when we get claims come in and populate those with employee name, employer, insurer, TPA, all that is done by way of the EDI submission from your insurer clients or clients of the defense attorneys. So we can't in ADR change a party to a claim. If there's an error or if there's an update, then you'd want to have your insurer client put on there what we call trading partner hat, because that's the hat they wear when they submit those first reports of injury through our EDI system. And they would need to use the EDI system to make that update. They should know how to do it. A lot of claim adjusters actually don't deal with the EDI directly. So the claim adjusters you're talking to are not necessarily going to know how to do it. Just like defense attorneys and plaintiff attorneys, when I was out there practicing, I didn't understand the EDI either. But I know that those insurers do have units that have the EDI people. They would be the ones that get those change requests basically submitted. And if you got questions about it, have your insurer go to the help desk, or they may have already the contact information for our EDI group who can help them with it.
Great. Thanks for that, Brian. And again, just as a reminder to folks, I think Aaron put his email address in the chat. So thank you for that, Aaron. And I will see if I can put mine in here as well. So again, I know a number of folks have reached out already about that revocation of access. So I definitely have some follow-ups slated for later today. But if you have any specific questions around that maybe haven't already been brought to my attention, you can reach out to me directly at the email address that I just loaded in the chat there. All right. Well, with that, and one thing I will say, just as in advance of a announcement going out for scheduling, I do think that we'll probably be updating the scheduling of our answer hours to reflect a half hour now moving forward. Over the past few weeks, I think what we're seeing is that we can get done with these in that 30-minute time frame. So rather than scheduling a full hour, we'll probably be throttling back a bit and scheduling only a half hour, so we're not jamming up everybody's calendar. But in any event, at least for today, we're happy to give you back the gift of time with 30 minutes. And we'll be looking forward to our next opportunity to come together. So thanks again. Thank you for being a part of today's discussion. And if you have any questions or follow-up, you know how to reach out. Take care. We'll be talking with you soon. Bye-bye.